Okay, you're good. Ready?
Yeah. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. I actually got a really great question from a friend on Instagram, and she asked me, I'm just getting started on my fitness journey. I don't know where to begin with diet and exercise. So the first step, I would say, is to do a self-check and a self-audit. So keep a food journal for 7 days. In this journal, write down every single thing that you have eaten for the last 7 days, without judgment, just to see, how you structure your days with your meals. That's a really important step, because it will start to give you insight into your eating habits, because some of us, we just kind of go through our days and we kind of eat for convenience, or we eat for how we're feeling that day. But if you keep a food journal, you'll be able to see every single thing you've eaten and how you can do better, where you can improve. So I've had a lot of friends message me and ask, can you take a look at how I'm eating and tell me what I could be doing better? And then I'll see that they're doing super low calorie during the day, and then by nighttime they have a massive meal. If you keep a food journal, you'll be able to read it and say, okay, I'm clearly under eating during the day, so at night I'm craving everything under the sun. And then you can start to make changes in that way. The same thing goes for your sleep. If you notice that you are sleeping later and later every single day, of course this is going to affect your fitness goals and your weight loss. What you want to pay attention to is how you're thinking about yourself and your body. And if you tell yourself you're going to exercise that day, but you kind of skip out on it, why did you do that? So the self-audit will get you to turn the mirror around on yourself and really analyze exactly why you do the things you do and why it has stopped you from being where you want to be. So for me, the number one thing that I had to shift in my journey was the mental aspect. And I think we don't really give enough credit to how being in the right mental space will affect your life positively or negatively. Even when it comes to something like fitness, you think that it's just, I'm gonna lift some weights and eat some broccoli and I'm suddenly gonna be at my best shape. But that's not how it works. See, a lot of people will even ask me, how do you stay motivated? But I'm not always motivated, and that's where the mental aspect comes in. So before, I would always talk about myself very negatively, and I would think negative thoughts about myself. And this affected every single thing I did in the kitchen and in the gym as well, because I was coming from a place of negativity. I was looking at myself and saying, this is horrible, that's horrible, this needs to change. And I wasn't speaking positivity into myself. So that also affected how I ate. So whenever I felt really down, I would binge eat all of my favorite foods, and that always slowed down my progress. So my weekends would be just 3 days of binging because I deprived myself so much during the week. So I think mentally we need to be in the right space. You're not always going to feel motivated. I know that there are lots of people who reach out to me who might be watching this video, and they tell me the same thing. I also have depression and anxiety. If your mental chatter is negative, you're not going to motivate yourself to do something positive for yourself. You're going to be stuck in that same negative cycle. Or how I would eat extremely low calories before, and I pretty much had an eating disorder when I was first starting out my fitness journey, because everything was about eating clean, which I don't use that term anymore for this reason, because it felt like I was eating super low calories, I was making certain foods the enemy, and then if I ate those foods that I deemed bad or dirty, then I would go into a cycle of self-loathing. Oh, I can never stick to anything. I never do anything right. Why can't I just get to where I want to be? And just recently actually is when I shifted the mental aspect and I started to really connect the dots in thinking about your mental health and fitness. Because when I am going through a depressive episode, I have such a hard time motivating myself to eat healthy, and I have a hard time exercising. But I know I've come to the point where I know that if I skip on the gym today and then I make it a habit tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that, I know that my depressive episode is going to last way longer. There was a point in time where I was super depressed when, I think it was when I had my first, our son. And I was super, super depressed. And even when I looked at my body, I felt disgusted, and I tried to eat only vegan, and I tried to eat a very restrictive diet, and just everything tied in together. I slowed myself down with my own progress. So do a self-check. Analyze how you're thinking about yourself. It does not serve you to speak negatively about yourself, to say that I look horrible right now and I'm ugly or I'm worthless. Those things, they're not going to help you reach your goals. If it's very important for you to reach your fitness goals, you have to start changing every single aspect of your life. And I was stuck in a spot as well where I would say, ugh, it feels like I always have to do everything perfectly in order to feel good about myself or to not feel depressed and anxious. And yes, that's true. You probably do have to do everything pretty well in order to help yourself feel better. If you are someone like me who suffers from depression and anxiety. It's not a bad thing though, because the changes that you're making in your life, they're positive changes. They're not negative changes. So the first step, keep your food journal. The second step, make sure that you are writing everything down. Even for a week, just so you can see what every single pattern in your life is like. Are you making excuses when it comes to exercise? Are you making excuses when it comes to meal prep? It goes a long way to actually sit there and plan out what kind of meals you'll be eating and then do your grocery shopping in accordance to that. A really, really quick tip that I can give is do not buy crap. If you don't have it in the house, even when you're feeling not your best, you're not going to reach for it. And I don't think you're actually going to go out and drive to go buy it just because you're feeling crappy that day. So we've just stopped buying all the things we know that we are kind of addicted to. For me, it's chips. I rarely buy chips. I'll have them like twice a year. So I think that's it. So keep your food journal. Do your self-audit where you list everything. How you're sleeping, how you're waking up, what your bedtime routine is like, which I suck at because I do sit on my phone a lot longer than I need to. And see how you're feeling throughout the day, whether you're making excuses when it comes to exercise or not. If you don't know where to start, I will be filming some at-home workout tutorials. I don't have access to the gym right now, but I will be sharing my home workouts. And if you don't know where to start, just follow along with my video. Start something, move your body. So those are my tips for today. I will be doing a part 2 and a part 3 soon. So keep an eye out for those. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you think any of your friends can benefit from it, share it with them. Thanks.